have your weights kind of nearby, just so, hi, Mara, good morning. And Karen's here, see? Yay! All right. Okay, so we will start on our backs, getting some windshield wipers. We just want to kind of get our hips moving, get the back feeling warmed up. So step your feet nice and wide to the outer edges of your mat, and then just start to drop your knees side to side. And then once you've got the rhythm of your legs going, if you want to add on and get the upper body warming up as well, bring your arms into those I Dream of Jeannie arms, or that square across the chest. And then as your knees drop in one direction, the elbows pull in the opposite direction. But take your time with this movement, like allow a little bit of time for the hips to warm up, allow a little time for the shoulders to warm up, and then kind of tune in. How does your back feel? How do your hips feel? How do your knees feel? How do your ankles feel? And what's your energy level like this morning, especially on those holiday weekends where we might be eating different foods and off of our regular normal patterns or rhythms of our day. So just notice, did you get enough sleep? Did you eat enough nourishing food? We got 7 seconds left here. And time. Nicely done. Hi, Karen. Good morning, Karen. All we need is a lightweight and a heavyweight this morning. Okay. And now we're going to step our feet in a little bit closer, and we're going to take it into some rolling bridges, and then we'll pull knees into chest. So with your hands down alongside your hips, curl up your tailbone, slow your bridge down, and then think articulates through the spine. So upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down. And then once the hips touch down, knees pick up to the chest, and then reset them down. Curl the tailbone up, take your time. Roll down through the spine, upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down, and then the knees pick up to the chest. And then once you've got that down, take it at your rhythm. Think of this as still your warm-up. So take your time. Give a little bit of time to let the spine wake up, the chest and the shoulders, and those hip flexor muscles, which are activated as you pull those knees up to the chest. You got this. Nice, you're already halfway there. Five seconds left. All right, that's time. Now we're going to take it into alternating knee pulls to the chest, but add a little twist. So as your right knee comes into the chest, just bring it over to the left just a little bit, bring it back to center, and then switch. Left knee comes in, right leg goes long. Take that left knee over to the right just a little bit, doesn't need to be extreme. Pull it back to center and switch. Take it over to the left, bring it back to center, switch knees. And then once you've got that down, you take it at your pace. As your spine starts to warm up and you increase that mobility in the spine, you can take that twist a little bit further. Just make sure that you're not yanking against your back and asking it to do something it's not quite prepared to do yet. So just be mindful, pay attention to how your body feels. "20 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to roll over onto the right side, and we're going to lay down. So that bottom arm is going to lay down so that your head can rest on it. And now here's where we're going to use probably light weights is going to be the most beneficial. We're going to keep the elbow hugged up against the side of the body. Head is going to rest down, and we're just going to draw that weight down towards the belly, and then pull it out and rotate as far up towards the ceiling as you can. So that's the work. It's slow and mindful, and all you got to do is 30 seconds of work here. So let your head rest. Focus on the shoulder rotation, keeping the elbow connected to the side of your body. The weight drops down towards the ground with control, and then reaches up towards the ceiling, but with that same amount of control. So stay in a safe range of motion that you know works good for you. Beautiful, you guys. Nice work. All right, now we're gonna add on here. So lift your head up. We're gonna pull up away from the floor so we get that long, strong arm. And now keep that hand weight if you can. Take it into that side plank, lift your knee, lift your arm, lower it back down with control. We got 30 seconds of work here, but think of this as a slow, controlled motion. Ribs lift away from the ground, the hip lifts away from the ground. And if you like that weight, you reach it up to the sky. If the weight's too much, put the weight down, but keep that side body lift and try to keep that taller arm if you can. If that's too much for the shoulder, bring it down, elbow and forearm, but we got 10 seconds left, whichever variation you're doing. And time. Awesome job. Okay, bring the hips down. And now we're going to take it right into some clams. So elbow and forearm down, load up the side of your hip, knees together, hips stacked, and we're just lifting that top leg up. So we're keeping the feet together and the knee lifts. 30 seconds of work here. You can go as fast or as slow as you like, but just know we do not have any speed rounds this week. So if you want to add speed, I'll tell you a couple of places where it might be beneficial. This one, take your time, go slow. Same amount of pace going up as going down. Same amount of pace, same pace. Okay, now we're going to add on. So we're going to extend the legs out. So rather than that bent knee position, send your legs out so that they're at a 45-degree angle. Pick the top leg up, and now we're going to turn the toe down so it's touching down towards the ground. And now we're going to hop the leg over. So we're going to keep the upper body as stable and stationary as we can. Hop the toe over, touch the ground, hop it behind you and touch down. We got 30 seconds of work here. Take it nice and slow and steady. Same thing here. We don't want the toe to just drop down to the ground. It's a controlled motion going up and down. Awesome, you guys. 10 seconds left. And time. Nicely done. Okay, we're going to flip over to the other side, loading up the side of the thigh. So come down. Oh, no, I said the wrong thing. Shoulder rotation to start. So come down into that side lying position. Elbow's going to connect to the side body, and we're rotating. So the weight comes down and then rotates up towards the ceiling. Slow and steady here. Take your time. Make sure you pay attention to how your shoulder feels about this work. Ten seconds left. And you might even notice that one side just feels completely different than the other. So just kind of be aware of that. All right, set that weight down or hold on to the weight, but now we're going to lift up into that taller arm position and lift up. So we're taking that into that side plank, the knee lifts and we lower down. We got 30 seconds on the clock. Slow and steady here. So we lift the ribs, we lift the hips, and we reach that leg and that arm up to the sky. If the weight is too much, just set it down. Beautiful, you guys, you look amazing. And time. Awesome job. Okay, come down so that you're on the elbow and forearm. Load up the side of your thigh and right into those clamps. So we lift up, lower with control. We got 30 seconds of work here. All right, now extend those legs out and we're taking it into that hot potato. So the leg lifts, the toe turns in, and then we hop that leg forward and back. So we're touching the toe down. Keep that steady, even position with the upper body. And we're just working through the side of the glutes. So we lift the leg, hop the toe over, and then step it behind. Nice work. We got 10 seconds left. You got this. Woo, and time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to spin back around onto our backside and take it into some hip bridges, but we're going to add a little challenge to our hip bridge. So you'll lift up into your hip bridge. You're going to hold that position, step your right leg so your heel is reaching to the end of the mat, step it back in, lower your hips down, and then take it to the other side. Lift the hips, hold that lifted position. Left leg is going to reach to the end of the mat. Step it back in, lower your hips down. Slow and steady here. Lift the hips, hold, right leg touches out, bring it back in, lower down, and then take it to the other side. Now here's, once you've got that down and you're in control of the movement, you can pick up the pace just a little bit, but make sure you don't lose height in the hips or control in your movement. You're already halfway there. Nice work. "12 seconds left." Yes, you guys look amazing. Nice job. And time. Awesome job. Lower your hips down, lift up just a little bit. So we're going to support ourselves, elbows and forearms. So we're going to come into this kind of supported V-sit. Legs are going to lift up, and now we're going to alternate our toe taps. So we're going to keep that lifted position, supported with the elbows and forearms, but keep a steady, stable position with the upper body. So most of the movement is coming from that hip crease. Everything else stays as stable as it can. Once you've got that rhythm down, here's a nice place. If you want to add that speed, you can do it, but don't lose that control. Make sure your upper body stays as stationary as it can. Firm up your abdomen, broaden your shoulders. Beautiful, nice work. You got 20 seconds left. In this stationary position here, they'll kind of get a sense, how are your shoulders feeling now? We've done a little bit of light work in the shoulders. Then the next 2 rounds are a little bit shoulder heavy. So notice how your shoulders feel in this supported position. Woo, and time. Set both feet down. Okay, now we're going to take it into a reverse tabletop. So fingertips pointing towards your butt. Lift your hips up away from the ground. Lower down. Send your legs out nice and long. Take a light forward fold. Make sure you bend your knees. Come back up, slide everything in. Lift up into that reverse table. Just go as high as feels safe to your shoulders. Legs reach long, reach toward your toes. We got 1 minute on the clock. Take it at your pace. The depth of work is totally up to you. You can take it so that you barely lift your butt up off the ground and you're still going to find plenty of work in the shoulders. But if it feels nice and you feel strong in the shoulders, you can lift that butt up as high as you like. And then just make sure as you're doing that forward fold, you keep that micro bend in the knees so we're not feeling any zinging sensation up into the glutes. If your glutes are burning, you've gone too far, make sure you bend your knees a lot. Nice job. We got 20 seconds left. And then check in here. How is your shoulders feeling about this work and how are your wrists feeling? The next one's going to be a little bit fun, but it can also ask a lot of the wrists and a lot of the shoulders. So just make sure that you're working at a level that feels good to your body. And time. Nicely done. Okay, now we're going to spin it around sideways. Find yourself into an all fours position. And this is the fun one. Okay, so we're going to pick up the knees. So we're in that hovering tabletop position. And then we're going to spin around. So we're going to come backwards and then roll forward so that we come to one side of the mat and then take it over the other way. So slow and steady, walk yourself over and across and then take it the other side. And then if you need at any point to put your knees down, take a rest, give your wrists a break, do what feels best, but make sure you take your slow movement so you're in control of everything that you do. Wrists are happy, shoulders are happy. Nice work, you guys. We got 10 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to take it back into a tabletop position. So onto all fours. It's going to be 30 seconds one leg, 30 seconds the other leg. So find your tabletop position. Yes, I like seeing that water drink. Always grab your sips of water as needed. All right, wrists in line with the shoulders. Slide that right leg out. We're going to lift the leg up, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, lower the toe down. That's all you got to do. 30 seconds of work. Lift it up, swing it out to the side, bring it back in, lower it down. As you do this work here, try to keep the upper body, the shoulders and the torso, as stable as you can. So a slight firmness in your abdomen, a little broadness in your shoulders. Six seconds left on this side. You got this. All right, the next time that leg comes in, slide it in, switch right to the other side. Left leg slides back, we lift up, swing it out to the side, bring it back, lower the toe down. You got it, nice work. And time, awesome job. Okay, next up, we're gonna stick with the right side, and now we're gonna take it from a high kneel position. So if you can, it's gonna be hands-free. You're gonna step the right foot up. You're gonna step all the way up to a standing position. Step the left leg down, step the right foot back. Stick with the right side lead. If coming all the way up from that standing or to that standing position without your hands feels like it's a little bit much, either just focus on that hip mobility, stepping the right foot forward and stepping it back. Add a little strength element, curl the toes under, lift the knee, lower the knee, step it back. Any other variation that works good for you. Or if you want that step up, but it's a little much without the hands, bring your hands forward, step that foot up. Let your hands assist you and let your hands assist you to come down. You got it. Ten seconds left. Nice work. And time. Awesome job. Okay, now we're going to switch to the other side. So left leg is going to be our lead foot. We step it forward, up, step back down, step the foot back, or we just work on that hip mobility, stepping it forward and letting it come down. Adding the strength element, if you're working on that strength building, step the knee forward, pick the back knee up, lower it down, step the foot back, or use your hands to help assist. So that means hands will come down, we'll pick that back leg up, come to that standing position, and then back down with control. Beautiful. Whichever variation works good for you, we're already halfway there. And time, nicely done. Okay, we're going to come all the way up to a standing position and grab two hand weights. So it's going to be overhead press, but we're going to alternate. I said two hand weights, but I'm a liar. Just one single hand weight. We're going to stick with one arm in an overhead press, but we're going to add a little challenge to our balance. So lift one leg up, overhead press, set it down, stick with that arm, lift the other knee up, overhead press, set it down. Slow, controlled movement, same arm, but now we're alternating our knee lift, challenging our core to maintain that steady balance. Yes. Slow and steady here. If this feels like it's just not even happening for you, there's not even a lot of work going on, you might choose to go up in weight. So you challenge yourself a little bit more. But if you feel like you're already finding plenty of good work, lots of good challenge in your center, awesome. And time. Switch your weight over to the other hand, but we're right back to that work. So overhead press with that knee lift, bring it down, switch the knee. Stays in the same hand in that weight. And then we're just challenging our balance here. And you don't have to get that high of a knee to find that challenge in your center. You might find plenty of work just by lifting the foot barely off the ground, especially if you're working on rebuilding your core strength. Nice. Five seconds left. You got this. And time. Awesome job. Okay, grab your second weight or grab your heavier weights because now it's just going to be a loaded sumo squat. So we're going to step the feet out to a nice wide position with an external rotation in the toes. We're going to load up right at the chest, sink it down into your squat, rise back up. We got 1 minute on the clock. We're going to keep those weights loaded at the chest, but not leaning against the chest. So arms are activated. Upper body is working to hold those weights in place. Sink your butt down and come back up. And as you tune in and find some work here, check in with those inner thighs. If your knees tend to buckle in, slow it down. Think about drawing your knees towards your pinky toes, which might change your range of motion, but want to make sure those inner thighs stay in control. Nice work. 25 seconds left. And time. Awesome job. Come up, shake those legs out, stick with those weights. We're going to take it into a staggered stance squat. We got 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other. So right foot's going to step back slightly, but rather than deadlift, think squat. So we're going to think butt back, bend the knees, rise back up. Keep the chest and chin lifted. Keep those weights loaded up at the chest. We got 30 seconds on this side. If you're going for speed, this would be a place to do it. But if you'd rather focus today on your form, keep it slow and steady. Butt back, bend your knees, keep the chest and chin lifted. Beautiful work. Wow, you guys, nice form. You guys look amazing. 3 more seconds, and then we're going to switch feet. All right, switch. Step the right foot forward, left foot back, and then right back to it. Butt back, bend your knees, chest and chin stay up. And time. Awesome work. Okay, next one does have a little bit of shoulder work. So if you like switching over to a lightweight for the shoulders, switch it up. We're going to take a nice wide stance. We're going to bend to one side. Arms are going to raise up, come back to center, bend, and take it over to the other side. We got 1 minute on the clock. So we're taking those lateral lunges with the front shoulder raise. If you want that speed round, here's a place you can do it, but just make sure that you're staying in control of your movement. Nice work. Check your shoulders here. If it feels like you got to really heft the butt to get those arms loaded with weight to lift up, you might want to drop the weights, maybe just go with one single weight to control that movement until you rebuild that strength. You got it. Nice job. And time. Awesome work. Bring those legs together. Take one weight. And now we're going to add a little balance challenge. So we're going to take our weight, touch it down to the ground, use your weight as a kickstand, lift your leg up to the side, set it down, take your weight, pass it over to the other side. Use your weight as a kickstand and lift your leg up. Nice. We've got 1 minute on the clock. You're taking this at your pace. If you love this move and you're super proficient at it, here's a place where you can add a little speed to challenge your balance. But if you're still working on building up that balance strength, slow it down. Once you've got that leg lift down and it feels really good and in control, take the top arm and lift that with you as well. Beautiful. You're already halfway there. Now, if you feel like everything else is working, all systems go, once you get to one side and you really want to challenge the balance, you're going to lift that weight up off the ground, hold balance for a second, take it over to the other side, lift the weight up off the ground, hold your balance for a second, set it down, and take it to the other side. Yes! And time. Beautiful job. Come on up. One single hand weight to finish it up. It's all you need. We're going to take that weight and it's just going to be behind the body. Okay, it's snowing outside. I just had to complain for a second. All right. So we're going to pass that weight just behind the back. So we're going to keep the arms slightly extended behind the back of the body. Pass the weight to one hand, pass it to the other side. We got 1 minute on the clock. This is our last minute of work. Catch your breath. Make sure you have a good handhold on that weight before you release it from the other hand. Twenty seconds left. And time. Woo, beautiful work. Okay, set that weight down. We're going to take it into a little stretch. So step your feet nice and wide, super wide as feels good to you. Take a nice big breath. Reach your arms up, interlace your fingers. Take a little side bend one way. Come right back up to center. Take a little side bend the other way. Come back up to center. And now we're going to unlace the fingers, hinge from your waist, fold down towards the ground. Let your hands find the ground. And then once you're there, see if you can bend just a little bit further. So bend your elbows, soften your head down towards the ground. Stay in this low position, but walk your hands over toward your right foot, soften your nose toward your knee. Awesome. Walk through center over towards the left foot, soften your nose toward your knee. Nice. Bring it back through center. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll on up to a standing position for funsies. Toe heel your feet in to about hip width distance apart. Take your left arm, bring it across the body. Drop the shoulder down. Tuck your chin down to your chest. Take a nice big breath. Head comes up to a neutral position and we switch to the other side. Bring the right arm across. Drop the shoulder down. Tuck your chin to your chest. Awesome. Head comes to a neutral position. Both hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Draw the knuckles down. Squeeze between the shoulder blades so we get that opening through the chest and the collarbones. And then if it feels good, lift your chin up to the sky. Nice. Release your chin to a neutral position. Unlace your hands, shrug out your shoulders. You guys are amazing. That was awesome work today. Grab your stick if you are sticking around.